Okay, then let's go. So first of all, a very warm welcome here from Paris. As I think the few I understood, yes, my name is Katharina Schmitter. I'm in charge of Ardecora for 15 years now. And first of all, obviously, I hope everyone is well and in good health, because this is the most important thing. So it's a pity that I can't come to Russia this year. Alexandra knows very well I love your country. I love to present our collection in front of your customers. It's always a nice, very nice moment. But let's try to make the best out of it this time. And anyhow, I'm very thrilled to present you our new collection, Ardecora, which is called Avant-Garde. This collection pays homage in a way to Art Deco, so not really to Bauhaus, but it's not that far away, but to Art Deco. But before we are going to show you the collection, I just would like to share with you a PowerPoint presentation that I've prepared for you, showing a bit the inspiration, because I remember in Russia they like to know a bit more about the inspiration story of the collection. And then you will see some photos of our latest photo shooting, giving you a bit the mood of the collection. So we start with that. And right after, Stefan in Germany is going to present you the different items, just some color families, because we don't have a lot of time. And he's going to give you more technical details about that. So let's start. I hope we'll manage. Okay, so as I said before, this is about Art Deco. It's a period that inspired me for a very long time. I love this period. And last year, I visited a very nice exposition in Paris called Modern Maharaja. And this exposition traced, in a way, the life of this Maharaja and his wife. And these two people were a really remarkable couple because they loved Art Deco, and they really followed Art Deco mainly in Europe during the 1920s, but they also lived this period in a very passionate way. So they had a very open-mindedness, modern way of living, and obviously also, as you can see, they were extremely elegant. So they this couple, and they frequented the most important artists of this period, like Brancusi, like Man Ray, and some artists, obviously, of the Bauhaus. So our new collection is called, as I said before, Avant-Garde. And this inspiration came to me because it's a period where a lot of things changed in a way, in fashion, in architecture, in society, in design, in many, many different fields. So it was a very rich period in a way. And you and me as a woman, a very important period, obviously. So it's a period where the emancipation of women started in a way. As you can see on this beautiful picture, women were allowed to wear trousers. Sounds crazy, but that's the way it is, to get their hair cut shortly and to smoke cigarettes. But on the other hand, they had also the right to have a driving license and to drive a car. Fashion obviously adapted this new way of life and their need for freedom. So this kind of very new silhouette, kind of androgyne, like a bit like boyish look from Chanel and Vionnet. They really revolutionized the fashion at this time. Jewelry is a very important part during this period, and as you has been inspired here on the left side, called Cristalli. And people in general, they wanted to have fun, and it was what we call the jazz age in a way, because it was really dancing, Charleston, and they just wanted to have fun, people at this time. The architecture and the design is obviously something that we are very much interested in. Here you see, for example, the roof of the famous Chrysler building in New York, which was built in the 1920s. And here you see these kind of forms they are very clear and sober forms, and they have been mainly influenced, I think I got the name before when Alexandra said, by the Cubisme, which is true. Here you see it very well on this slide. Painting, art in general, and architecture really influenced each other in a very important way. Here you see obviously this famous painting from Picasso, a cubism painting, and you find again these same shapes as on the Chrysler building. The aesthetic of this, it was a real new aesthetic in a way, as you can see. This aesthetic is called the Avant-Garde of classical modernism. So that's really, really new for this period. Yes, you can see it, these very sober, clear lines, which before in the 1900, obviously everything was flowerful with ornaments. And so it was a real rupture and a real break in a way. Design, everybody knows Mies Gropius and Marcel Breuer, just to give you a couple of names. They absolutely revolutionized the design and the architecture with their tubal steel furniture, as you can see on this slide here very well as well. So also in terms of colors, changes a lot. Now it's more this black and white, obviously leather as well. And the metallic colors like chrome, for example, are playing a very important role. Here on the right side, you see another item, which is, by the way, behind me. It's called Movimento. You see the inspiration coming from these curves and these kind of very sober lines we were speaking about. Now we are coming to our new collection, Avant-Garde. I just want to highlight that were very important for me in order to work on this collection, this new collection. The innovative materials. Materials during avant-garde playing a very important role. There's a nice mix always. They use materials they didn't use before for design and architecture. So this is an important point which I would like to highlight. I really wanted to play with these new materials, and you will discover our new items. Here you see two of them, Icona on the left and the bottom, and Struttura on the right side on the top. Here we're coming to the shooting photos. Was done in a, as you can see, a stunning house. It's a nice mixture between minimalistic in a way, as you can see, still have very classical elements, just to show you. So this is the item Struttura, just to show you that you can mix also this classical element very easily with a bit of taste. Here you see three of our items, Me Too, the upholstery item, the yellow one on the bottom, Tormalina and Icona. I'm going to show you, present you some of these samples later on. Again, our item Icona. Icona is an upholstery item. It has a very good rub test. It's a, we call it a vegan leather, embroidered with these three different embroidery stitches and colors, which gives a very nice 3D effect. I just have to look. Yes, okay, that's perfect. Dietrich, a nice, you will see a nice combination of bands applied on this kind of a bit kind of linen ground, a rather dry ground. I love this photo. I think it's very sensual, very nice photo. Again, our item Icona with some other items you will discover, or our item, there's also Lusso, is a very craftsmanship item with nice material mix. And the second point I would like to mention or to really emphasize is the craftsmanship. The craftsmanship during Art Deco was a very important point. It was for the first time that there was craftsmanship. So both, they really work close together. You have only haute couture, but you had also. So this is, I really think, an important point for Art Deco in general for many years now. The craftsmanship, very well done things. I'm really, really keen on that. And it's an important point for me to work also with our suppliers. Here you see beautiful color in our item Visione that Stefan is going to show you as well. It's a beautiful embroidery item on a jacquard ground. I don't know if you see it on the screen. The colors are just stunning. Another very nice item, or there are a couple of items, as I said, just to give you the mood of this new collection. So it's a real mix. You see a photo of our item, very nice jacquard. We have a great color. Cafe with a lot of nice and beautiful stunning. The full folds plain in a way, slightly structured, as you can see. It's easy to use in the beautiful and very expressive team color. Gemini on the side, so the elements, the fabric is quite quite contemporary. A photo I personally love because I also love this color family. Again, I means the mid. Said Alexander before, Ardecora is the Italian brand of Zimmer & Rode, therefore the names are always in Italian. With these kind of spicy sienna colors, I think they are very, very elegant. You can see here also with Visione in terms of colors. The collection is really strong this year. Very sophisticated colors. Obviously, we have a lot of also neutral colors, but the color families are very important this year and very expressive. Again, you see, I like so much these colors. This very minimalistic photo in a way, again with Me Too, the same you see behind me. Cubismo, as says the name, on a very expressive. Our item Me Too, again a new item called well, I have a leg. Well, I would come Opale. Sorry, I'm working already on new collection, so therefore, Opale. It's a print on this nice velvet ground, so very with this highlight with some metallic hints, but very fine and presentation from Ardecora. And now I'm giving back to Stefan in Frankfurt, who is going to show you now the different samples, some color families. And then obviously, if you have some questions, I will be delighted to answer your questions.
Thank you, Katharina. We're looking forward to seeing the samples.
It was a lovely presentation, very beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It's lovely. We are there for sharing emotion.
Yes, definitely.
We need that now, especially. We need that this time. So we are waiting for Stefan, right? Maybe can you go back to Stefan?
Hello again.
Hello, Stefan.
Okay, so I start immediately with the fabric presentation. I think you know the names already because Katharina already mentioned all the names beautifully. So I just have to show the fabrics. No, but this is the one of the signature designs in the Ardecora collection, which is called Movimento. Movimento is printed on a beautiful, nicely draping velvet. I think you see in the camera quite well the beautiful, elegant shimmer of this material. And as you can see, it's printed in 3 different colors. And one of the colors is a very special metallic pigment, which makes a nice texture and a 3-dimensional effect on the fabric. Movimento. In this beautiful signature color world with this burnt sienna, and nicely together with Movimento is our new upholstery velvet, which is called Mito. Mito is a very rich and strong upholstery velvet, and you see this little sparkling in this very abstract ornamental motif, which is woven in a velvet jacquard technique. And the special thing about it, which gives us this beautiful 3-dimensional look, is that we work here, or Katharina worked with 2 different heights of pile. So the ground is a little bit shorter in pile, and then the motifs, they are really long pile threads, and so they are they can have a little movement on the ground, and therefore they have this beautiful shimmer on top. And you see, when you see the whole width, that it's a beautiful big damask design on this 70 centimeter wide piece of fabric. But of course, finally, it's a quality which has the normal width of 140 centimeter. Then this beautiful Chrysler building inspired embroidery, which is called Visione. I also come a little bit closer that you can see the stitches better, the details of these beautiful stitches on this woven jacquard block stripe. In this sienna color area, you see there's a little jacquard effect even to give this area a little bit of movement and texture. And then the black ground of the embroidery is also is a woven block stripe. And then on top of this black stripe, there is applied this rich geometric embroidery. Like a very precious stone or a feather texture, you can also see it a little bit like a feather texture, is this very sophisticated jacquard weave, which is called Tormalino. A beautiful, elegant, multicolored jacquard weave with just a touch of geometric. It's more a texture than a real geometric design. And you see here also the surface has a beautiful shimmer and a really high elegance. Tormalina comes, of course, also in a wider color range. Here with some gold, bluish tones, very deep turquoise, greenish, and also the neutrals and the burnt sienna. Then a beautiful upholstery, also very rich, and Katharina was already talking about the innovative materials. So this is a faux leather. Nowadays we say vegan leather because there are also quite some people which don't want to use the real leather anymore. So here's an alternative which is still quite elegant, but not from animals. And this beautiful, rich embroidery is at the same time very strong and therefore usable as a very elegant upholstery. Nice ornament, and it's called Icona. Another very nice example of innovative use of material is this drapery fabric, which has some dense areas and also some sheer areas. It's also an application of faux leather quality on a structured sheer ground, and it's called struttura. Maybe here you can see a little bit the play of the density and transparency against the light. And it's also a beautiful, very modernistic design, which comes in the typical leather colors, like this dark one, which we have seen as a bigger sample, but also this beautiful taupe color and this also very typical warm brown leather color. Just very shortly, a second color world of this group here with Movimento in this beautiful dark green with a bluish touch. Icona also working with some turquoise elements, and another beautiful sheer which you have seen on the bathroom photo Katharina showed you already, which is called Dietrich. Also a transparent net texture with this beautiful two-colored ribbons applied in a more minimalistic design. Katharina was also talking about craftsmanship, and this is, I think, a beautiful example of a very sophisticated production technique. This article is called Lusso. It's a very bold block stripe, as you can see from the far. And if you have a closer look, you see it's again a woven block stripe. And on the one of these stripes, we have very fine stripes in a velvet quality applied on the fabric, framed by a very precisely made embroidery. And on top of this velvet applications, we have another application, an embroidery and application of sequences in a semi-shiny quality. So it's not too loud, it's not too bling bling, it's still very elegant, but has this very, very precious look of these sequences. Here in this beautiful soft blue-green. Of course, Mito, our velvet, going together with these colors. Visione, our embroidered block stripe. And Turmalina in this very strong turquoise, which makes it really, really rich looking. Then we have a second group, which is a little bit more inspired by jewelry, by a little bit more sensitive, more fine elements. And the first one I would like to show you here is again embroidery, which is called Diamanti. And you see it's a very, very soft horizontal block stripe on a nice, elegant linen sateen quality, embroidered with viscose yarn in this multicolored way, and it really looks a little bit like sparkling diamonds on this very modern pale pink linen ground. And we started with Diamanti, and we have another name which reminds us on jewelry. The next fabric is called Cristalli, and Cristalli is a very, very rich, but at the same time, as you see here, quite subtle kind of drapery fabric on a light linen quality, which makes it very contemporary. And then when I come closer, I hope you can see it with the light. It's real little glass pearls embroidered by hand in this striped design on the linen ground. So it's a very delicate piece of fabric with a lot of handwork done, and it has this very discreet elegance, what I really like about this fabric. Of course, our upholsteries, Mito and Icona, go with both groups of the collection very well. But here for this group, another drapery is very important with this, let's say, abstract floral impression. It's called opale. Opale is also printed on this very nice drapery velvet, so it's a quite light velvet. Sometimes velvets are very heavy and can only be used for upholstery, but this one is also very light, very drapable, and has this beautiful shimmering leaf design printed on top, also in 3 different colors. And you saw it already on the picture in the room, that if it's decorated on the window, it almost becomes an abstract texture. I think that's a nice play between design and texture in this case. And also here, just very shortly, a second color world, because I think it looks very nice also in front of the camera. The pink sometimes on the camera is not so well seen. So here we have also this beautiful sage green with the design Diamanti, which we have seen already in the pink, and especially Cristalli looks beautiful on this blue-green ground with the golden glass pearls embroidered with a little bit more contrast. A very also discreet jacquard design with a very interesting production technique is this one called Jada. It's a modern interpretation of a toile de joue motif. The toile de joue are very often prints in cotton, so they are nice, but maybe a bit more sportive. And I think this is a very elegant, a very nice, rich interpretation of such a toile de joue motif with this little landscape sceneries. I think you can see it from the close very well. And this quality has got a very, very special brush finish after the weaving, which makes it almost the surface looking and also feeling like a cashmere quality. So, I mean, here I really would hope that I can give it to you through the camera to touch it, because when you only see it, it's really, let's say, only half of the impression you can get of this fabric. So ask for a sample and get it in your studio or in your shop and touch it. So I can promise you it's really a nice experience. And then the last sample I would like to show you before Katharina maybe can answer some questions to you is this beautiful, elegant silver color of our velvet drapery, opale. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan. Thank you. Lovely.
Lovely. But Katharina, thank you very much. Thank you very much for this collection, because I think that you've captured the spirit of Art Deco wonderfully. It's a beautiful, beautiful set of materials. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you very much for your attention and for the nice and warm words. And thank you again, Stefan, for the presentation. It's nice that I can watch it now. And Stefan has to do it.
I have a question, maybe a brief one. You know, Art Deco became popular in interior design again almost 20 years ago in the years 2000, and it is still popular, although a lot of things changed and a lot of trends changed. What is the secret of Art Deco? Why is it so popular even today? How do you feel?
Yeah, Yeah. Well, obviously, I just can give you my very personal answer to this. Well, first of all, as I said, you know, it's a period, as I said, where many things changed at the same time. So it was in terms also of society, as we saw also in the PowerPoint design, it was a real revolution. So it really has a lot of it's a powerful, very powerful movement, Art Deco. And then I think I think also in general, it was a very creative period. People came out of the First World War, and as I said, they wanted to create, to renew, to restructure many things. So in these periods, and I hope we are also experiencing this kind of period right now, there's in general a lot of creativity. It's a kind of need, need that you have to be creative and to reinvent your life. So therefore, also I think it's very up to date, Art Deco in a way. And then obviously it's as we said, it's well, there's a lot of things that you can apply even in our days in terms of decoration, because it's minimalistic, but at the same time it's glamorous, you know. So it has a very nice combination of rich and reduced aesthetic in a way. And I think that makes it really very easy to use and to interpretate, obviously. So I hope this was the answer you were looking for.
Thank you. It was lovely. The collection is stunning, and I'm sure it will be very popular. So congratulations all around, and thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you.